Prepare yourself for invasion. This is Indie Invasion.
You still on eBay? You still on eBay?
I'm not still on eBay. What's happening? Oh, look, it's Clem Cadiddlehopper, friend to all people.
Oh, look at that. See, Clem, I told you.
Look at that.
I had to pull him off of the internet because he was just going down that rabbit hole since you sent him that nice, brand spanking new, smelling good book.
Yeah, man. Are you kidding me, dude? I already started building a board. Did you see the pictures?
Yep. Yes, I did.
I only have the one piece of foam. Well, actually, that's not true. I have some old boards that are like half complete and failures because they were just like I had an idea, started building, and got to a certain point and was like, I don't really like the way this looks, so I just stopped. So I do actually have some extra foam, but I need to pick up some more because I really like the way I've been building them lately, where I build 4 2x2 boards. I really like that. Ron, what's happening, stranger?
Modular.
Welcome. Yeah.
Yes. Welcome in, Ron. Welcome in, invaders. Happy Thursday night. Thank you for joining me and Mac. And I find it funny that so you got this week, and last week we were talking about nostalgia. This totally fits in nostalgia. I mean, that's where this came from. And we're going right into this week, so it's just like a progression.
Are you kidding? I'm not done with last week. So I had a buddy of mine who he doesn't run the convention anymore, but he used to run Siege of Augusta. Hey, Alder, what's happening?
Morning, Alder.
Coffee time, sir, with you. He used to run Siege of Augusta in Augusta, Georgia. He doesn't anymore. He's handed it off to somebody else. But he messaged me today, and he's like, do you have a flea market at Coastal Con? I was like, yeah, we do a flea market because we do. We haven't had a whole bunch of people there, but we've had a full table. Let's put it that way. The table has been full. And he says to me, okay, so for those of you who've been listening for a while, you may or may not catch this. I know you will, Eric. He says to me, yeah, because I wanted to bring some stuff down to Coastal Con next year because I have a whole bunch of Man of War stuff. And I said, you mean...
Did he listen to last week's show or something?
I was like, you mean Games Workshop Man of War stuff?
Holy cow.
He said, yeah, I got a bunch of fleets. And I was like, oh, no. I said, okay. I said, okay, get a price together because I'm going to save up my pennies so that when you come to Coastal Con...
Yeah. You got enough time to put those pennies together.
I do. I got lots of time. I can save all my hobby money. And yes, Clem, that is 100 because Man of War, it's not cheap at all.
What's up, Tyler? Welcome in.
Yeah, man. And I was also looking at Battlefleet Gothic stuff too. Because I still have my box set for that.
You just need the models, right?
Yeah. And you can there's a bunch of stuff on Etsy.
Yeah, I think I've seen that. And I think I remember Clem talking about that on Etsy or on many of the, 3D websites that you can get the files and stuff. People have like reproduced them because
well, the other thing
they're hard to find.
The other thing I looked at too was a lot of I think a lot of the Drop Fleet Commander models would work well, and they're considerably cheaper and more available than the Battlefleet Gothic stuff would. We are doing well, Tyler. We hope you are too. Glad you could join us tonight. But yeah, so that's what I've been working on. I got a lot done on the first board. I was not necessarily an enjoyable process doing each flagstone on the board.
Yeah, I bet you need like a big stamper or something for that part.
Which is why there's big crater holes, because Mordheim's supposed to have crater holes anyway.
That's right. So
I was like, yeah, this big giant hole right here, there's no There's no flagstones here. None.
You're probably happy about that. What's up, Spaz?
Yeah. Spaz, welcome, sir. It's our favorite Canuck.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of time. He's been busy.
Yeah, I know. Jeez. Like you have to prioritize, Spaz. Got to do the things that are important.
Well, he did get a new puppy too. So.
Oh, well, okay. I'll let you off the hook then. New puppy's okay.
You should be able to relate to that right now.
I can relate to that one. I can relate to that with my new puppy. So, anyway, what are we talking about there, you wild and crazy mailman?
Like I said, it's funny that last week we're talking about nostalgia, and here you get one of your nostalgia wishes, and we're going right into how do you get people to play it, right? So we're going to talk about how you guys put a game group together. How basically do you have an under the roof group? Do you have local store friends that you go to and play games with, or are they spread all over the globe and you only get to see them at cons? Now that's the case for many of us here. I think that's how I know a lot of you guys here.
Yeah, how cool of a game day would that be?
I'm telling you,
everybody in this list in the same place.
Yeah,
we wouldn't. There's too many games though. We wouldn't play anything.
Yeah,
we'd just spend the whole time deciding what we wanted to play.
Well, yeah, we just be talking about, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
But
your face is frozen.
Yeah, I froze up here. My computer is giving me some trouble.
That's because you have 900 tabs open.
Probably.
At least you're not making. At least you weren't making a stupid face when it.
Yeah,
froze.
I know. But now, Mac, you just did this kind of put together a group for your old school Necromunda.
Right.
How did that kind of come into effect? What'd you do? Whose arm did you twist?
I kind of did the same thing that I'm doing with the Mordheim. Now, to be fair, okay, wait a minute. Alder's got it. We just play Twisted if we all get together.
Yeah.
I'm down for that. Anyway, so I kind of did the same thing. So the first thing I did is I was looking at the old school Necromunda stuff because that was probably my favorite game. It would be Necromunda, Man of War, and Mordheim were the three back in the day. Those were the ones that I really liked. And so I started looking at it, and I was like, well, I'm just going to build a board because I can use it for sci-fi stuff anyway. So I built the boards that I have, the ones that I posted in the Coastal Con group just today because I set them up because we're playing a game Saturday night. And when I did that, people were like, oh, what's that for? And I said, let me tell you what it's for. You
enticed them, huh?
Right. And then now I was very encouraging. I went ahead and I made sure to send them the link to the yaktribe.com, which is the group of guys that put together a website to perpetuate the disease of Necromunda and add stuff to it and collect everything. So they have a living rule book and everything. So they did that. So I sent everybody to that so that they could start looking at it. And then the next thing you know, I'm getting messages with pictures because people have bought. We all bought the new models, the new Necromunda models.
Cheaper.
Right. So I basically did the same thing with Mordheim to the same group of guys. So if you guys are watching, I'm sorry, not really, but I basically did the same thing. So I was just for all you guys out there, I was just telling Eric this before we started. One of my buddies, he asked me, so is Mordheim just Necromunda in fantasy? I said, yeah, basically it is. He goes, okay, cool. Next thing you know, he goes, yeah, I really like the Carnival of Chaos. So today when I got the book, I took a picture of the page for Carnival of Chaos and I sent it to him. He responds back and says, I already made 2 war bands.
So you basically this is, and I think one of our talking points will touch into this. You basically put everything in front of them. You showed them the candy and enticed them. And it was enough to interest them.
Yeah, I kind of fanboy it for them.
Okay.
Because so I think that there's a lot of appeal. Well, I don't want to jump ahead here on what you have. Let me scan your notes here. So I think one of the big things for me when I want to draw somebody in is it's the table.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I say to you, hey, come play this game with me, and I have a couple of cereal boxes on the table, there's nothing wrong with that.
Sometimes you're going to ask, where's the milk?
Right. But sometimes that's all you have. But if you're trying to get someone into a game, I think there has to be a visual appeal. And I think that's where game stores make it a little bit easier, because most game stores they're going to have a bunch of terrain that you can use.
Yep.
They're going to have tables set up. They're going to have mats so that you can get a nice visual.
Yep.
So, and
before we start jumping all over the place, Cracklin' Oat Brand. Yes, Spaz. Yes.
No, it's not. It's something full of sugar. What are you talking about?
That's good stuff. We're going to jump right into one of our first talking points, and we're going to go basic. We're going to say built-in players at home. So we're going to talk about that and building your little gaming group. And that's kind of where a lot of people start at is, either they don't have any friends, they don't have a store.
Why are you looking at me, dude? I have friends. I just don't have a store.
So for a play group, they have whoever you live with. If you have kids, this is a perfect example of your built-in adventure party. Yep. And I don't think he's here tonight, but I'm looking at Mr. Bob. He's got a ton of kids that, I'm always seeing him post pictures of D&D like weekend. And that's fantastic. You don't have to, basically you're the parent, they're the kids. You can be like, okay, we're playing this game.
Yeah. You can do, my kids like to play too, but a lot of the times my kids will set up a table and they'll make up their own game.
That's fun too.
I'm like, oh no, you have to have some rules. It's not Calvin Ball. So it's not Calvin Ball, but they do. They set up games and play, especially my 12-year-old. He'll set stuff up. My teenager, he used to play. And I think pretty much after he whipped all of the adults at Adepticon in Wild West Exodus, he quit playing. He was like, all right, I'm at the pinnacle.
I'm done. I'm retired.
I'm at the pinnacle. I can't overachieve this. I got my Adepticon medal here. There's nothing else. There's nothing else for me. So
yeah, I think my son, same thing. That's the only, I think, I can see problem with the in-house gamer group is that eventually they do grow a little older and think they know everything and find new hobbies other than gaming with dad or mom. And yeah. So, I mean, that's one of the problems, but it's a start, right? And I think sometimes, and I've seen this with some of my friends, local friend Spencer, his son, when he was younger, used to game with us, like on an adult level. And, he went off to college and stuff, and now he's starting to come back to the group. Now he's almost done with college and play with us more when we meet up at the cons and stuff like that.
Well, you said Xander was doing the same thing too, that he started his own groups.
Yeah.
Clem says Nando peaked too soon. He did. He was 12, man. He started playing 40K at 9. So he's pretty smart. And then he shows up at Adepticon at 12 and he just beats everybody. So
yeah, and that is one of the cool things about with the family is you introduce them to that and then they go off and kind of do their own thing or eventually also come back and they become part of your permanent gaming group then, whether it's your home or a store or something like that.
Yeah, my 28-year-old Nate is he's part of my gaming club.
Yeah, your own personal gaming club.
My own personal gaming club.
They all meet in the basement, right?
Yep.
Because somebody doesn't have a store. But at least you got friends.
I got friends. I don't have a store, but as you can see, Discover Games is not watching tonight. He must have known that I was going to really mention the fact that I do not have a store.
I need that Discover 2.
Discover 2, TOO. That's what I'm saying. That's what he needs to do.
All right, so that one was a shorter one. It's pretty basic, straightforward how to build it. You just make them do it, right? So the next one is the store to hang out and meet friends or make new ones. Now, this one I'm just
gonna leave.
We got some feedback on this one because I did post a question in our Discord, and I think I did a little bit on Instagram and Facebook. But we had, things to do in a store that can suck them in. And I think I'm saying this right. Zaylin on Discord.
It's Ray.
It's Ray. Okay. He had a bunch of good comments on this. He brought together a group of coworkers from different projects and used it as both a networking and team building experience. I thought that was kind of cool. He also said that he pulled together groups from local game stores based on similar interests. So you put the feelers out there, like in your case, Necromunda, and you just kind of find out from those different stores. And what that is, it's like a common interest, right? Let's see, what else did he say? And he said, and I like this one, he deliberately learned a game, 40K, so he could recruit a group to play other games, Relic Blade. Now, that I think that's a little sneaky. That's a little sneaky, but hey, it works. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you want to play a game, sometimes you got to learn the one that's the popular one because you'll easily find the game.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna need to address Clem on this one.
What's he saying?
Friends are overrated. They ask you to help them move. Friends are not overrated, Clem. They hook you up with good stuff.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Come on now. That's what friends are for. It's taking care of each other. Ron, too, right here. Demo games, best way to get people into a new game.
Yep.
Absolutely. Could not agree more. It's why I do them at conventions. Because I don't have a game store. I've always said this. If you're you have to have a champion for a game if you have a game store.
Yeah. And that's totally what I did with Wild West Exodus and our local
and it was booming when you were doing that.
Yeah, and that's how I met Big Mike. I basically, and he commented on this. I went there and like you said, I set up a beautiful table to entice people to come over and say, "Oh, what's this?" And I say, "Oh, hi, I'm Eric. Do you play Wild West Exodus?"
Let me show you how. I brought 2 armies.
But yeah, if you do regular demos on a regular set day or time at a store or a con, like you're saying, you can easily get people, to get used to that schedule, and having that dedicated day gets them to come back. Maybe they're coming to the store regular enough that they see you there. For me, it was every Sunday. I was doing not every Sunday. I did every other Sunday. Right. So they got used to seeing me in there every other Sunday, and eventually, I got some of them in. So,
right. Let's see. That's a good point too, Clem makes. Being a game champion is exhausting. If you slow down, the community crumbles. Yeah, I think though that's like any leadership principle. So when you do that, your main purpose once you're being the champion for that game is to find the person that can equally champion the game.
Yeah.
And do the standard leadership protocol where they watch you do it. They do it while you're watching them do it, and then they do it by themselves. You know what I mean? Because it's exhausting. I used to do a Friday game night every Friday night, and it can really get exhausting too if you don't have a lot of people showing up.
Yeah,
because then it gets frustrating and exhausting. So there's quite a bit to that. So really, what we just need to do is we need like Elon Musk to just buy us a gaming island for everybody that's in this group, and
gaming compound.
Yeah, and he could just pay for us to all move there and live there forever and play games.
I'm just telling you right now, I ain't drinking the Kool-Aid.
I'm not bringing Kool-Aid. We'll have plenty of coffee though.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not bringing any Kool-Aid, and then we'll just have just games. Yes. So Elon, if you're listening, that's what we need. Because I know you secretly watch us. Because why not?
Patreon. Go visit us at patreon.com/Indian. All right. So our next little talking point is con friends. So this one kind of applies to a lot of us here. Your con friends you meet online for a certain game and you gather maybe only a few times a year. But when you do gather, it's like no time has passed. I mean, me and you, perfect example right there, on the old forums. And Clem, I know you were part of those old forums, and Spaz, with me and him, it was Monpok.
Spaz.
So
drink the Kool-Aid through twisted straws. Yes.
Oh, wrong twisted.
It's okay. It's okay.
So, I mean, that's a great way to meet people, and then you become friends. It's almost kind of a built-in group centered around a certain game.
Yeah.
So then when you do go gather at these cons, it's a lot easier to just get together and play either the game you guys love, or like I have a little group of us from the Monpok days that we play all kinds of different games now.
Yeah.
I don't even think we play Monpok anymore, other than Spaz, I think, is the only one that plays it still.
Well, I've done a much better job these past couple conventions that I've been to. It's been hard for me to get to them lately, but normally I don't play anything except Twisted because that's what I'm demoing. But I did really good at the last Coastal Con. I played Recon. I played Mercs. I played, what else did I play? That might be all I played. But that's
I think
still
you
good.
played a couple. Yeah. And I mean, it's one of those things that it's like you don't have a local scene for that particular game. Sometimes cons are great to get those group of friends together and play a game. Off the bat, I can't think of, well, actually, you know what? I can think of it. Just this past Adepticon. I only know one other person that plays Rain and Hell around here. So when I went to Adepticon, I got to play one of my buddies that came down for Adepticon. So, and that was cool. That was a good way to play a game that I just couldn't get to the table normally.
Yeah.
So what other things we can do at specifically cons to draw people in and build a gaming group, especially if you're from the local area, is, you know, you could run events at the con to get people to play the game that you like. So if they are local, all suddenly they're going to go to your local stores and look into it. So it's kind of, you kind of have to follow it up. If you're running events or doing even just maybe playing in events there, if you take that momentum to the local stores too, there's a good chance that those guys were at that con, they saw it, they're going to go to that store and, you know, they probably bought a bunch of stuff. Maybe they bought everything that's in the line at the con, and now they're ready to play it. So,
well, and that's the whole purpose for me when I do demos, is even if it's not somebody locally, for me, the games that I play regularly. So there's a million different games that I love, right? But the reality is there's so many of them, you have to pare down the ones you like best to play. So I have a handful of those that I like the best to play. And those are the ones that I go and I demo, because the more people that play the game, even if they don't live near me, are going to show it to more people to play the game, who are going to show it to more people to play the game.
Like a virus just spreading.
Right. So it's like Pandemic, right? We're playing Pandemic. That's a fun game.
There we go.
But so that's my motivation behind it, is just to get more people to play the game. The more people that play the game, especially since with you and I, we do a lot of support for the independent game developers. Yeah. So that's a double win for me when I go and do that, because it's an indie game. So I'm doing my little part that I can to help an independent game developer. So
get seen and get known.
Here they are now. Okay, you're late there, Alan. We've been talking a lot about.
He was talking smack about you.
I was not talking smack. I was talking about how we need Discover 2, because Eric keeps talking about go to your local game store, use your local game store, set up a game and support it at your local game store. And I'm over here like, I don't have anything to talk about on this episode of Indie Invasion Shorts, because I don't have a game store. The only way, listen, this is how I get a game store in Beaufort. Are you ready? Okay. I had to start a convention.
I was going to say, you put a sign on your back door that goes to the basement. What?
Yeah, right. No, I had to start a convention so I could get a game store in town.
Yeah.
It worked.
Oh man. So
I don't recommend everybody do that, but it worked for me.
Yeah. He delivered.
He says I deliver. That is true. I do have one advantage probably over everybody in this group. The game store that I shop at will deliver to my door, and usually stay and play a game after the delivery.
So let's see, what other things can you do to get a game group together? I kind of touched on this. I think hostages, yeah, bribe them, blackmail them. We mentioned this a little bit earlier, is to learn a common popular game like Magic or 40K, because it's got lots of players. If you do get into that, you're gonna find a game of that, no matter where you go. It's very mainstream. But you do that, then what you do is, with that common starting point, you can branch out from that with your group. You know, you establish kind of a core group already. Well, then you do the flippy flop on them, and you say, hey, look at this. Let's try this. You know,
this
one
game
weekend
doesn't
or
cost
something.
as much. You don't have to buy 700 models.
Let's try this new Osprey game. You know, that was one of the things that popped into my, you know, because your investment is this $20 book, $25 book. You got a bunch of minis already, so let's just try it. So yeah, I thought that was one thing.
Spaz said Stockholm Syndrome has proven to be much more effective when you play games with the guests. All right, I'm having some guests over really soon.
There you go. That's what they're called, guests.
Yes. You just have to be like, I'll roll for you. I'll roll for you because your hands are tied to the chair. I'll roll for you.
Oh, Clem, like you don't have to buy models.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Just use what you got. That's why we like a lot of these independent games, right? The agnostic stuff. I mean, we're using board game minis because why not?
Because and there's so many of them right now. The market's flooded with them. Ron makes a good point too. Your local library, they'll let you in to do anything and do like a quarterly game. He said they do a quarterly game day at theirs, and as computer dependent as the world has become, if you go to the library, you'll be surprised how many people you still see at the library. You can get a fair amount of people to show up. So go to your local library.
Let's see. And one of the other last points I got is it helps to get all the stuff. And we mentioned this, helps to get all the stuff so it's easier to talk people into trying it. You know, there's no big investment on their part. And that's kind of what a demo is.
Wait a minute. Did you just justify to this group? Did you just give everyone in this group an excuse to go buy everything?
So I deserve a ding. I deserve a ding.
Not that this group needed that sort of encouragement, but yeah, I think that's what you just did. Oh dear.
Yeah, I thought about that after I put that in the notes. I was like, "Ooh, I might be telling people it's okay."
You just did. You absolutely did.
Well, hey, if you want to champion the game and you want to get people into it so you can play the game more, sometimes you have to.
Alder's right. Your name tonight is Mr. Freeze because this is what you look like.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my computer tonight, guys. I don't know if we got some rolling storms in the area or what, but it has been raining.
I'm not really frozen. I'm just copying Eric.
Oh, okay. I'm just glad that when I'm freezing it, like you said, it's not some goofy face or something. Oh, look at that. It sped up and caught up. It's aliens, Ron says. Yeah, it's the aliens.
It is aliens.
The little guy up here in the corner.
I did not put my tinfoil on my head before we started, so that's
your pyramid. Your tinfoil pyramid.
That's what the problem is. And, you know, I can get a good fit too, you know, because I don't have any hair, so it just goes on there real good.
So you got any other ideas about putting together a gaming group? I think we covered generally kind of all of them.
I think one of the things that really helps, and this is where sometimes you have to be creative, and I think Ron had a great idea there too, that they do the library, is a space.
Yeah.
Because so like I said, we don't have a game store here. So what makes it hard to get people to regularly commit is unless someone is your friend outside of gaming, you know, just a buddy.
Well, somebody like you have a lot of luck with the church, right?
Right. I can use my church building, but then you go back to, like Clem was saying, you get that burnout because I have to be there every Friday. I'm the guy with the key.
Yeah.
You know, I have to be there. I mean, I kick people out when I'm ready to go, but you also don't want to foster this idea of, well, you know, we only have until 9 o'clock because Mac likes to go to bed early. You know what I mean? So you don't want to foster that. And you get worn out, especially when two people show up and then one person shows up and you've hauled a bunch of games down there. So a location, an established location really does help a lot. And with the library, it's something you don't have to be responsible for. You don't have to open it. You don't have to close it. You just got to show up with your stuff. So look into finding those kind of places. We have a board game group in town that goes to. We have this new place. It's an axe throwing /
Oh, that's cool.
Sandwich joint. So they have tables for food. Well, they go and they play board games there, and that's a good relationship to establish with a food establishment, because everybody's going to be eating, so they're spending money.
Yeah. There's some bars and cafe type places that'll have like maybe one night during the week. They have a space that you could, open up to people that want to come and just do that. Bring board games, whatever, and try them out.
Yeah, and I think that's, to me, in my mind anyway, for being someone that doesn't have a store, that perspective is the place makes all the difference.
Yeah.
I think. Now we're doing this one.
Yeah, I was getting close. You look like you're deep in thought.
Oh wait, hold on. Wait, I got to get the whole thing.
Oh my God.
All right, Mr. Freeze. I think that's it.
See the thing.
Oh, now you're skipping. Golly, those aliens. You need to go put your tinfoil on your head.
Yeah, probably squirrels chewing on the cords.
Squirrels. Yep. All right, I think that's it. Who's taking us out?
That's it. All right, Alder. We'll catch you next time, and I think that's it.
Yes, sir.
We're going to...
All right. I'll go ahead and take us out because Eric is now frozen and not speaking. So I'll go ahead and take us out tonight. See you later, Ron. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us for another night of Indian Invasion Shorts. Yeah, we can. Well, no, we didn't hear you for a minute there, so I got it. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Indian Invasion Shorts. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all those places, and all of your podcast services. We've got pushing 300 episodes on Podbean. Go over, check it out, and follow us. If there is a click, like, follow button anywhere, go smash that button. Also, you can check us out on the Discord channel. Go over, check out the Discord channel. Cool stuff going on over there. We also have a Patreon you can check out if you would like. But more important than anything else is the awesome and amazing and super cool Redbubble.com. Go check it out. You can get your shirts, hats, hoodies, all those cool things from Indie Invasion. So, guys, while you're trying to suck all your friends in, best of luck finding a location and best of luck finding some folks to play with you. And when you find them, remember to prepare yourself for the invasion.